My professor told the class that if anyone had a problem with Daniel, they should consider transferring out. She said it while Daniel sat in the front row, grinning. 30 students staring at their desks. Nobody moved. Daniel had been a problem since September. Loud, disruptive, and completely untouchable, because he had a documented disability, and the department treated him like he was made of glass. I understood accommodations. I have HD myself. I sit in the front, I use noise-canceling headphones during independent work, and I manage. But Daniel's accommodations had somehow expanded to include everyone else being required to tolerate anything he did. It started with the talking, not contributing to class. Talking. Over the professor. Over other students during presentations. Random tangents about whatever YouTube video he'd watched that morning. If the professor redirected him, he'd slam his laptop shut and say, "Fine, I'll just fail then." Everyone would freeze. The professor would apologize to him. Then it got worse. My friend Kim sat next to him for 3 weeks before she asked to switch seats. She told me in the hallway, with her voice shaking, that he'd been watching explicit content on his laptop during lecture, not hiding it. Screen brightness at full. She saw him adjusting himself under the desk. Kim went to the department head. She was told Daniel had a support plan, and they were working with his family. Kim asked what that had to do with her sitting next to a man watching those videos at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. The department head said, "We understand your discomfort, but we have to be compassionate." 4 more students reported the same thing over the next month. Each time, administration said they were handling it. Each time, nothing changed. One student took a photo for evidence, and the professor told her to delete it immediately, or face disciplinary action, for documenting what was happening to her. I kept my head down. I sat on the opposite side of the room. I turned my music up. I white-knuckled it through every lecture, because I needed this class for my degree, and couldn't afford to drop it. Then 3 weeks ago, Daniel lost it during a lab session. The TAL wouldn't give him the answer to a problem he hadn't attempted. He asked once, twice. Third time he started yelling, "I'm waiting." I said I'm waiting. The TAL told him to try the problem first. He screamed so loud the room shook, slammed his fist on the table, knocked his laptop to the floor. I was 2 rows behind him. My headphones were in, but it didn't matter. His voice cut through everything. That specific pitch that feels like someone dragging metal across bone. My chest locked. My vision went spotty. I couldn't breathe. I grabbed my bag and walked straight to the bathroom and sat on the floor with my hands over my ears trying to stop the shaking. Kim found me 10 minutes later. She didn't say anything. She just sat next to me until my breathing evened out. Then she said, "Call your mom." I called my mom. Kim called hers. Both of our mothers filed formal complaints that week. Not against Daniel. Against the administration that had spent 8 months watching a classroom full of students get harassed and choosing one person's comfort over everyone else's. The meeting was a circus. The department had spent the first 15 minutes explaining everything they'd been doing behind the scenes. My mom asked why none of those behind-the-scenes efforts had produced a single visible result in 8 months. The department head said these things take time. My mom said her daughter had a panic attack on a bathroom floor and asked how much more time they needed. Then the department head said the sentence that made my mother's jaw tighten so hard I heard her teeth click. "We have to remember that his behavior is outside of his pants." My mom stared at her. "I'm sorry. Did you just say that to minimize what's happening to my child?" The department head backpedaled. My mom didn't let her. Daniel wasn't expelled. The professor wasn't fired. But they moved him to a different section with a dedicated aide, and our class got a written policy that explicit content on personal devices during lecture would result in immediate removal. It wasn't everything, but it was the first time in 8 months that someone acknowledged out loud that 30 students shouldn't have to set themselves on fire to keep one person warm. Kim texted me that night, "You okay?" I said yeah. She said, "Later." I said, "Getting there." My mom asked me later if I felt guilty. I said a little. She said, "For what? For needing to breathe in your own classroom?" I said I didn't want to be the person who made things harder for someone with a disability. She put her hands on my shoulders and said, "You didn't make anything harder. The adults who refused to do their jobs for 8 months made it harder. For him, and for you." She was right. Compassion isn't letting someone drown everyone in the pool because you're afraid to teach them to swim. It's making sure everyone gets air.